So a brief introduction about me is I like to consider myself a generalized specialist with focus in data science, product management, and strategic planning. Even in strategic planning, I would say I leverage that data to do more of strategic planning per se. So previously I worked at Moving Walls in Kuala Lumpur, where I led a cross-border analytics team. So our offices were located in US, Singapore, Indonesia, India, and Mexico. And prior to that, I was working as more towards project engineering, but I also developed AI-enhanced energy efficient product for Plus Solar Systems, which is also in Malaysia. And during my undergrad, I was working as a research assistant at National Institute for Aviation Research in the United States. So that's about me. So if all of you are ready, I'm really excited to get started. So let's jump into it. Okay, so today's agenda will be, at first, we are going to talk a brief about business intelligence and data analytics. So what we'll try to do collectively is we'll try to differentiate between business intelligence, data analytics, and data analysis. Now, most of the cases, these terms are used interchangeably and there's no harm in it. But from strategic or business point of view, if you are not sure what your team are trying to solve, your project goal could be somewhat hampered. And what will happen in the future is that will affect your productivity as well. So that's what we'll try to do. We'll try to define what is business intelligence, what is data analytics, and what is data analysis, and what are the difference between them. Next, we're going to talk about components and tools of BI and data analytics. So mostly your data storage tools, data management, data processing tools, and visualization tools. So the components and tools will give you some information about your material resources. So how should you plan your material resource planning, right? But at the same time, you need to think about your human capitals, how you're going to leverage your team, how you're going to leverage your team to utilize the data tools and how you can get business value out of it. And there will be at last, there will be a demonstration for the projects. So what I'll try to do is I'll try to integrate the projects with the keynote. So I'll try to ask questions and in between we'll go to the data dashboard, see what's happening in real life, and then come back and try to answer the question. Okay. So at first, let's talk about business intelligence and data analytics. So before I jump into the definition, let's do a simple thought experiment, okay? So let's say you are a marketer and you want to promote your brand awareness within a city through billboards. How can you do that? So one of the way you can do it is you try to find the billboards that are located in mostly densely populated areas. So it could be somewhere in Old Town or somewhere in Gulshan, Bonani, those sort of places. But does that really make sense? So that's what we're going to try to answer. So if you look here, you see that this is the map of KL. So this is real-time data. Okay, just give me a minute, sorry. Sorry, I'm really sorry. Okay. Hello? Hello?
We can hear you.
Yeah, please continue.
Okay, perfect. So this is the map of KL, and these are the smaller districts. So you can think of it as your as like Gulshan, Bonani, Uttara, those sort of places, right? And if you look at this map, yellow is the area with highest number of people, blue are with the lower number of people. And you can identify top 5 districts, which is Bukit Nanas, Imbi Pasar, Changkat, Jalan Sultan, and Kampung Haji. Now, as a marketer, you can think that, okay, I'll put my ad somewhere within Bukit Danas, which will reach about 2 million people. But is that assumption valid? So that's the question I want to ask. So if you look into this dashboard, so this is exactly the same picture you saw before. And these are your billboard locations, okay? So the circles represent each billboards. So we assume that most people live here, so the chances of seeing the billboard will be higher here. But if you look as the highest number of highest number of viewership. So why is that? And so basically, what's happening here, and how does this help us to define business intelligence and data analytics? So from business intelligence perspective, you have data, you have past data. So you hypothesize, and that may not be valid or that may not be true, but at least you have a head start. You have a direction where you want to go, right? And that's what this picture represents. You assume that most people will see the billboards around here, which is not valid, but it's a start. And that is what you can think of business intelligence. Whereas your analytics is something even more. It not only looks at your past data, it also looks your future and present data, and it tells you what's happening in real world. Is your assumption valid? If it is valid, what can you predict from it? And if it is not valid, what can you find from it? So what are the prescriptive models you can come up with it? So basically, this is what business intelligence and data analytics is supposed to do. It's supposed to answer these questions. What happened? When, who, and how many? And the way you validate your business intelligence is through reporting. So you have your KPIs, you have different metrics, you have automated monitoring and alerting and other informations. And your data analytics, you not only answer what happened in the past, you also answered why it happened, right? And you will answer the questions like, will it happen again? And you will answer at the same time, what's going to happen if I change certain parameters? And then you will ask, which is the most important question, is what does else data tells us that we didn't think of? So in this example, we thought these would be the ideal locations, but the data tells us something completely different. So that's what data analytics does. And if you look into this chart, so you'll have a better understanding between business intelligence and data analytics. So you have a business case study, you have preliminary data report. For our case, we have census data from various districts. And based on the data, you come up with your hypothesis, right? And you visualize it, and then you create a dashboard. So this all lives in past to present, whereas your analytics lives from present to future. So you try to come up with predictive models that, okay, I know today there are 10,000 people within this area. Tomorrow, will there be 10,000 people, or will there be more, or will there be less? If there is more, why there is more? If there is less, why there is less? And what can we do about it? So that's all about data analytics and business intelligence. So once you have data analytics, once you define business intelligence and data analytics, next you need to answer, what is the difference between data analytics and data analysis?